Welcome back to Zenshin Works. All right, on this week's episode, we're going to go over how I picked this car, the S15, why I picked it, where I bought it from, shipping it back to the States, picking it up in the States, and what this car means to me. Let's get into it. All righty, let's get through this list. We got how I picked the car, how I picked this car, where I bought it, shipping, picking it up in the States, what the car means to me. So how I picked this car was kind of a happenstance. I joined the military in 2019, and then I saved up 2 years to buy this car. I bought it in the summer of 2022 after returning to Japan from a couple detachments. I had saved up enough money to where I knew I could buy a car. Now, I got back to Japan in July of 2022, and I started looking at cars on Goonet and other websites, other auction websites, and I knew that I was going to buy a car, get it shipped back to the States. Now, I get back to Japan, um, and I start looking at cars. And my buddy knows, he knew of a dealership close to base. I said, well, let's go look at cars. He said, all right. So I went with him, and I looked at this car. It was blue. It was the nicest car in the lot, in my opinion. And I asked him if I could test drive it. And he said, there was a guy there that spoke English and Japanese and helped out this dealership. He said, yeah, sure. Test drove it. Felt great. Had the turbo flutter going. I was in love. I knew from that point that I was gonna probably buy this car. But there was a few other cars on the lot as well that I wanted to test drive, but there wasn't enough time that night. Fast forward 2 days, my my roommate was actually also looking to buy a car at this point, and I said, "Get dressed. We're going to Vertex, is where I bought this from. Vertex Motorsports, and we're gonna look at a car for you." We get there, my car's sitting there, and he was eyeing up a Skyline, four-door Skyline that was manual swapped, and a gray S15. Long story short, he ended up buying the gray S15 2 days after I bought this. And then, so I test drove them for him because he couldn't drive manual at the time. And then the next day, so the day after I test drove those cars for him, I contacted the translator guy, and I said, if I give you half the asking price for the car, will you hold it for me? He said, yeah, sure. So I went to the bank, got the money out, and gave him the money. He was holding it for me, and at the same time, my roommate was also buying. He decided to buy the gray S15. So a couple days go by. I financed the second half of it, just to work on my credit, and I give him the money for it. A couple days after that, he's got the plates and a few other things that needed fixed, like there was holes in the trunk and stuff like that, because this car came with a wing. Uh, so that's how I bought the car. I don't know why I chose this car specifically, but I think it was the color. Blue is one of my favorite colors on a car. And then at the time I didn't know this, but it has a sunroof, and sunroof option on the Spec R's it's not super rare, but it's uncommon. And I wanted the sunroof anyways because I had never had a car with a sunroof, so that was just cool to me. And the wheels on it are nice. These came with it. I like the wheels and how the car sat stance wise. So I liked the car. So I bought it. Moving on to that was kind of how I picked it, where I bought it, and then shipping. So I was under the impression that the military was going to ship it for me, and I ended up not getting extended in Japan, so I had to ship the car myself, which was a silver lining because I wanted the car to be shipped in a container because of the stock front bumper, the aero bumper. So I went through JPC, and they were great. Any questions I had, they answered them quickly, and they handled everything. I actually have another friend there that bought a Blue S15 from Top Rank Imports, and he was willing to take power of attorney of the car, and he drove it every couple weeks just to keep it on the road and running. He had the car for a little over a year and then handed it off to JPC. They got the car all washed up, underbody wash, and prepped for shipping. And then it shipped. So I left Japan in the summer of 2023, and then this car left Japan December, I want to say 27th. They loaded it on the ship. So December 27th, they loaded it on the ship, and it got to the States, to New Jersey, in 2025. It was February 17th. So they contacted me saying, "Hey, your car is going to be here. You have X amount of time to pick it up. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay a storage fee." I said, "Okay, cool." So me and my father-in-law got a enclosed car trailer from a family friend of ours and trekked out to Jersey, got a hotel room, woke up the next day, got to the port around 6:30, and then I waited in line and finally picked up my car, got it loaded up, and drove it all the way back here. So it got to home March 8th of this year. Oh, that would be shipping and then picking it up in the States. And then what the car means to me. So this car has a lot of memories. It got me all around Japan, and it allowed me to essentially do a lot of the things that I wanted to do in Japan because I didn't have to pay for a Shin ticket or someone else to drive me or bus or whatever. This car got me to Tokyo twice. It got me to Osaka, Fukuoka. I drove this thing everywhere, is what I'm saying. When you're in the military and you're stationed over there, you only get one car. So this was the car. I taught my now fiance how to drive manual in this car. So that's cool. So she could come back to the States and drive her car. And also, her and I fell in love in this car. So this car is not going anywhere. This car is never going to be sold unless there's a major, major expense that needs to be covered. This car will never be sold. That's just kind of the 10,000 foot view of how I got the car and what it means to me. This means the world to me, and it's never going anywhere. So you'll be seeing this car on the channel for years to come, and we're not done with it. We got to do small stuff. We got to fix the sunroof and get it paint corrected, and this little paint fleck here, we got to get that work done. But Lola is here, and I'm glad for it. But that being said, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a rundown of how I got the car shipped here and all that stuff, how I picked it. I didn't really know that I wanted an S15, but I love the way they look, and when I drove it, from the second I heard the turbo flutter, I was like, that's it, taking it. I need it. Oh, that's the rundown of how I got Lola, my S15. If you liked it, subscribe for more. This car is not going anywhere. You're going to see this car for years to come on this channel. And it all helps the algorithm so that I can get the F250 back from Arizona and start the Grand Marquis drift build. That's what's coming next, is getting the F250 back to home. So, thank you guys so much for watching this far. I'll catch you next week on Zenshin Works.